Welcome to Streets Alive Atlanta, the first one of the season. All right, here we are again with Keon's happenings. The city of Atlanta has a series of programs they call Streets Alive. What they do is they take a major thoroughfare and they close it off to vehicular traffic. Now I am on Peachtree Street, which is the major thoroughfare for the city of Atlanta. As you see, I'm coming down to underground Atlanta right now. Still trying to rebuild business over here. But anyway, as you can see, now that I'm with the people, everyone is out enjoying themselves. People get to set up little tents and things to sell and sponsor. So I rode from Midtown to downtown, and I'm on my way back to Midtown, which is where I parked my car. That's the funny thing about Atlanta too. Even when they have things like this, you still are better off getting in your car to go somewhere so you can participate. So here I am now at Wall Street and Peachtree Street, coming to Marietta Street and Decatur Street. Again, this is 5 Points, and I will be on my way back to Midtown. There's the famous Coca-Cola sign. The old Walgreens. I wish this sign, because that's a hill and I would be able to use the momentum, right? I don't know who that is, but it says ministry and they're ministering people. This is also an area that attracts a lot of housing disadvantage, housing transit, homeless people. You see, we got a lot of that in Atlanta, unfortunately. Feel like playing that Michael Jackson song. They follow each other on the Wind, you know, because they got no place to be. Here's Vanity. I believe this is a black-owned establishment. I haven't been before, but we have them all over the ATL. All right, the light is open, so I can use some of this momentum. Not that much momentum. That's because I'm a heavy guy. As soon as it gets time to go back up, gravity says, sit your big butt back. So I don't ever usually get to use that speed to boomerang me over these hills. So right now I'm using Keon power. Pedal, pedal, pedal. All right, here we are in the Poplar Fairleigh district. Some of the older buildings in the city that have been reused and repurposed. There's Woodruff Park, named after the one of the people that built Coca-Cola, but someone renamed it after a black activist. So the people, what's up, man? So the people in the city may call it something else. I can't even remember what they're calling it now, but officially it is still Woodruff Park, and we're right now on the campus of Georgia State, one of the top graduating universities for African Americans in the United States. Ellis Hotel, the Ellis on Peachtree, used to be the wine cloth, one of the scenes of the most fatalistic fires in the United States. Back in the early 1900s, it caught on fire and many people died, and that's why they started putting up fire escapes. There are some people say that you can still hear or see people screaming sometimes to get out at night. Okay, here we are on Peachtree Street. That's the Westin. That's the entrance to the Westin, one of the tallest hotels in the Western Hemisphere. Yes, I am out of breath because I'm pedaling and talking in 80-something degree weather on heels, and that's just the way it is. But this is still good cardio. There goes the Central Library. It used to be a brutalist building, but they said by putting those windows in, they ruined it. I wish I could do that with my cat. She won't allow me. All right. There goes Hard Rock Cafe. This used to be Planet Hollywood, if anyone remembers, from the 90s. Peachtree Center. Yeah, I am not pedaling. I am taking advantage of this downward momentum. There goes one of the country clubs or town clubs. A lot of big deals are made here in this building. All right, get ready to come to a stop. Let's see. Yeah, all right, so let's stop. If you are a fan of Tyler Perry, if you remember the movie, this is the building they used to say he worked at. The character that was played by Blair Underwood. Truest building now. It was SunTrust at the time. But if this building looks familiar to you, it's because you saw it in a Tyler Perry movie. Now, I don't know if they actually filmed inside this building, but this was the outside facade they used to depict where the offices were. We're just rolling down Peachtree Street. Everybody on their wheels. This is ATL living, people. That's why everyone comes down here, because of things like this, the easy living. Welcome to the South. Welcome to the South. Everyone's having a good time. Everybody's enjoying themselves. See the skaters. I wish my balance was still that good. He is actually skating holding a speaker. He's using regular roller skates. They're doing blades. Midtown used to be Crawford Lawn, one of the top hospitals in the Atlanta area. Now here we go by where it's starting to get more activity. I'm crossing over Interstate 75, 85. One of the most traveled interstates in the United States. Those people going down to Florida, coming from up north. Oh, look at this little baby. I think I'm here coming up to the church, MARTA. But as you see, everyone has their little booths and stands to promote things for the city of Atlanta, e-bikes, Beltline biking. There goes St. Luke's. I think that's Episcopalian. Someone got their drone up. The world famous fabulous Fox Theater. I think there might only be 2 or 3 left. There's one in Detroit. I can't remember. There might be one in St. Louis. This is where all the theater shows and productions are shown at. Here's Bank of America Tower. I think that's like the 12th largest tower in the United States. It's one of the tallest in the Southeast. Tallest between Atlanta, Miami, and either DC or New York, or it was. That might have changed, I don't know. Bank of America Plaza. All right, now I'm back in Midtown, and as you see, the crowd is getting thicker. Thick, thick, thick. There goes St. Mark's United Methodist Church, allied to the gay community. This used to be First Atlanta Baptist years ago, not an ally to the gay community, which is why they left and went out to the suburbs. As you see, lots of people enjoying themselves on a Sunday afternoon. That's what they're supposed to do. The Jehovah's Witnesses are out today. That's what they're doing. Whoops. Pothole, even for bikes. Don't make no sense. Anyway, here is the world. Alright, here is the world famous Bulldogs. One of the oldest gay bars in the city of Atlanta, probably around the same age as me, established either in 1979 or 1978. When I was coming up, it used to be a mainly white bar, but now it's mainly black. Anyway, look what has happened to Midtown in the years. This used to be a very low, seedy area of Atlanta up till around the late 1980s when they really started gentrifying the area. Here's the Metropolis, which was one of the first condominium high-rises they built around that time period. Alright, Wimbush House, I can't remember, but that's one of the founders of the city founders of Atlanta and possibly connected to the Roosevelts. I know Rhodes Hall is further up and that is connected to the Roosevelts. But here we are at Colony Square, one of the first mixed-use developments in the Southeast, developed in 1969, I think. I even have a friend here that works in management. All right, we're coming towards the end of our little tour and bike ride. So, anyway, thank you for riding with me on Atlanta Alive, Streets Alives, and I'll see you when we do the next one in a few more months. Have a good Sunday, everybody. Look what they got here, vintage handmade art this way.
I received the message and you will play the same.
All right, this event stops at around 6, so we're almost to that point now. There goes the Margaret Mitchell house, where she called the dump. This was the apartment where she wrote a good portion of Gone with the Wind. All right, crossing over. They're telling us to stop, but we're in the middle. Here goes the National Reserves, where they print money for the Southeast region of the United States. There's a museum in there too that's open up for the public. You ever get here and have some free time in Atlanta, you just want to do something, go up there. See, those are all the states they're responsible for in the Southeast. Not all of them, but the ones that are attached to the Atlanta Reserve. Goes the Sugar Factory and Intermessos.